last week with our family dinner, we got to watch the video, Showtime video of the 1970 game between Alabama and USC, and the history that game created and the change it created. And then to have Sam in today was absolutely awesome. The message that he gave our players was phenomenal about, being on that stage as a young person and him just focusing on his role and his job rather than capturing the entire complexity of the game and how important it was. He just focused on his job. And then he really talked about the leadership afterwards of being after that game. It's so important for the leadership to really remember that you have an entire season, that even though that game they won, at the end of the season they end up 6-4-1. That 1972 team, 2 years later, he talked about every game was so important. Every game was more important than the next, and you look up and you win a national championship. So I thank Sam for being with us. Today was a great opportunity to review our first and second down package, our last day in full pad, so really, really important for us to be able to put the last pieces of the puzzle together on first and second down. With issues and injuries, as I said last night, Osa Messina won't be traveling with us to the Alabama game because of team rules violation. Our university is aware of investigation in Utah involving Osa, and due to privacy laws and the rights of those involved, I can't discuss anything further. I hope you will respect that. Injury report, Chad was out here today, really got kind of a new implant for his shoe, kind of a steel-made implant that helped. He actually went through individual and got a team session. Obviously, he's not ready for an entire game, but we'll see how he progresses and see if he can help us in this game. That's going to be the decision. Obviously, as I said last night on our radio show, we'll end up going with Chuma as the starter, but we'll see if Chad can give us some reps. Marvell Tal was really good today, continues to progress. I expect him to be full speed, ready to go for this game. And then you probably saw Yakili Ross was under the weather today. So with that, I'll take any questions that you might have.
Coach, Messina's under not one, but two sexual assault investigations, one here in Los Angeles and one in Utah. What is your reaction, and how is this disturbing the team?
Like I said, I'm not under the right to be able to discuss any of that because of privacy issues and the rights of students, but I really respect the question and I respect the rights of the student athletes.
So you say he violated team rules. What team rules did he violate? As
I said before, and I really appreciate your question, because of privacy rules and because of the rights of all involved, I'm not allowed to answer that question, but I respect your question.
Well, they had a search warrant here, and they questioned you.
I appreciate your question. Thank you.
Clay, is Osa's suspension limited to the first game, or is there a chance that extends?
Really, as a coach, you're taking out of it. This is a university matter and a university policy, and I'm confident in the guidance of the university here. So they'll let me know. I don't have a crystal ball with it, but I'm very confident in their guidance on what to do moving forward.
If anything, this team knows how to deal with distraction. But going in and play the number one team in the country, what does that mean to this team, and how does that help?
What an unbelievable opportunity, Shelley, really. You look at it, the work that this team's put in, and I think of the sacrifices that they've had, with coming in May and working on their own, having their player run practices. It really gave us a jump start, I thought, over the summer to be able to get a kickstart ready for this opportunity. I mean, what a great chance to be able to play the defending national champion, number one team in the country, one of the best head coaches in the history of our profession. That's why you come to SC. You come to SC to compete against the very best.
How exciting is that for you?
Very exciting. I mean, that's why you come to SC. If you don't like the challenge, don't take the job. And, that's what you live for. You live for the opportunity to play on the biggest stage and compete on the biggest stage. And that's what SC is all about.
Coach, you mentioned Sam Cunningham. Are you hoping that might inspire your running backs to have a big day?
I hope so. It's going to be really important. I think anytime that you're dealing with new quarterbacks coming in, it's really important that run game is clicking to take the pressure off them, hopefully to give you some advantage coverages, some one-high coverages, some man coverages, to create some one-on-one opportunities down the field. So if our run game isn't going, it will be a struggle. This is a great run defense. We got a huge challenge, both not only the running backs but the offensive line, to manufacture big runs.
challenge.
Number 1 ranked offensive line versus number 1 ranked defensive line. What's that going to look like?
Oh,
on Saturday?
it ought to be fun. Fans ought to get a big box of popcorn and enjoy. I know I'm going to enjoy it. You know, when you get to practice, basically after your 25th practice, you're ready to go compete against somebody else, and to have this opportunity to compete against the very best with not only do you think your team is talented, but you're playing a very talented team. What a great start to the season. I'm really happy for college football fans.
Specifically with Zach, how big of an opportunity is it for him to kind of showcase himself for NFL scouts?
I think it's a great opportunity for each one of our players, to be honest with you. You know, and like I said, it was really important to us in training camp to be able to have the opportunity to go best on best. Even when you see our end period, that iron sharpens iron, you see the guys that are going against each other, and that's very important, not only for this game, but I think for the rest of the season. I mean, you're talking Alabama, Notre Dame, Pac-12 schedule. You know, it's going to be very important to keep up this type of service for each other. But is it a great opportunity for not only Zach and the rest of the players to display where they're at? Yeah, I think they've got a chip on their shoulder and they're ready to show, you know, what they're made of.
Zach says that this game is kind of like a bowl game to start off the season. Is that kind of how you feel as well, coming in?
You know, I would be amiss if I didn't know the importance of the game and how special it is for football fans everywhere. It's very special for us going into the beginning of our season, and to have that opportunity, I think is great for us. I wouldn't want it any other way.
When you play a team like Alabama with all their success, is there moral victory that you
Well, when we go into every game, really, Scott, we go in to win the game and do everything possible, put all our energy and focus into winning that game, and really focus on that week. You know, it's so important to us, just like last year, that every game's a championship game, every game's a playoff game, because you look up in our league, if you have an off day, you're getting your butt beat, you know. So our primary focus for the last 2 weeks has been nothing but Alabama. Then after that game, we'll move on to Utah State.
One last one. Have you guys named team captains yet?
Our players actually voted on it 2 days ago, and I'll be announcing it to our team tomorrow, and then I'll be announcing it to the media following tomorrow. Good question. Thank you guys.
Thanks,
really
Coach.
appreciate it. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Coach.